Hey, hello, friends. Welcome everyone to all of you for this Global Women Empowerment Sessions 2020. As part of this program, today we have with us Indira Thawani, ma'am from India. She'll be speaking about ancestral liberation and self empowerment. Ancestral healing is a profound spiritual healing, my dear friends, to clear out all our karmic patterns by healing the inherited energy patterns using this meditation and energy. Our ancestors exist not only in the genes they pass down through the generation, but also in an energetic pattern of thoughts, emotions, illnesses, and karma, which can affect every part of our personal life. So, ancestral healing can transform energetic patterns with a vibrational shift in the entire ancestral line. Friends, I'm Sri Lakshmi from UK, practicing this meditation for the past 12 years. And under the guidance of our master, Brahmashi Patriji, we are doing this triple one days of global goddess meditation circle with triple one feminine masters across the globe. So, friends, we have successfully entered into day 71 of our program. And as you all know, that the main intention of this program is to invite all the feminine masters across the globe so that we can create this unified global collective grid across this planet Earth. So, before starting of our session, let's meditate for 2 minutes by connecting with all the higher beings. So, I request everyone to please close your eyes and start observing your normal and natural breath. Now, let's invite all the divine goddesses' energies, Goddess Lakshmi, Goddess Parvati, Goddess Saraswati, Mother Isis, Mother Durga, Mother Kuan Ma Kali. Let's invite all the divine feminine masters in this universe, my dear friends. Let's invite all our ancestors. Let's connect with all of them and do meditation. Let each and every cell in your body be completely filled with the divine healing energies flowing from all these divine masters. Completely silence your mind, my dear friends. Experience this divine healing energies. Just bask into these energies. Now, let's send and radiate this love and compassionate energies to all the beings on this planet Earth. May all the living beings on this planet Earth live happy, healthy, and peaceful. Let each and every person on this planet Earth become a meditator and a vegetarian for the highest and the greatest good of all. Now, gently place your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and you can slowly open your eyes, my dear friends. So, I'm so happy to introduce today's speaker, Indira Thawani. She's a consciousness transformer by passion and karmic therapist and meditation facilitator by profession. She was a born seeker from a deeply spiritual lineage. Her quest for a living divine led her to a powerful Antaryamin experience in the year 2003, by the founder of the Oneness University, Sri Bhagavan, and in 2007 she was blessed with a state of Ananda. Ever since, she has served selflessly as a volunteer at their ashram with 50 to 60 monks, which has led her to deep experiential wisdom and given her an opportunity to impact the lives of countless individuals around the world, my dear friends. Her profound spiritual experience sharing has been covered on various media channels over the years, such as CNBC, Shankar, Astha, Jaya TV, and many more. She has been practicing this holistic healing now for 21 years and is trained by world renowned Dr. Brian Vass in New York for past life regression therapy and is the only such therapist in Gujarat. She also practices various healing modalities. It was during one of her therapist training with Dr. Lakshmi and Dr. Newton, she got to hear about Brahmarshi Patriji. She met Patriji in 2019 and had a powerful experience of Ananda as she connected to Krishna consciousness during his flute meditation. And it was this same profound experience that has connected her to PSSM and has re energized her vision to purpose of life but discovering Dhyan as a powerful mode of self transformation. Indiraji is a firm believer of our deep connection with our ancestors. She has been volunteering since 2013 in a temple of ancestral liberation in the southern part of India, where she has experienced for herself how her life and the lives of all those intended to heal ancestral issues could empower their own lives. And this is that she is going to share with us today on talk on ancestral liberation and self empowerment, my dear friends. So, without further ado, welcome her. Hi, Indraji.
Namaste, everyone. It's so good to be here again on this beautiful PSSM platform. And my heartfelt gratitude to Brahma Rishi Pitama Patriji for this opportunity. I would also like to thank you, Sri Lakshmi ji, for inviting me to this wonderful program of yours of the Global Goddesses Meditation Circle. I've been seeing it, and it's wonderful to be a part of this community to contribute to our own tribe. And my topic for today, friends, as Sri Lakshmi has already mentioned, is ancestral liberation for self-empowerment. This topic is extremely close to my heart because I've spent many years working for ancestral liberation for a number of families in the southern part of India in a particular temple. I have seen phenomenal changes happening in individuals and families' lives when they pray for the liberation of their ancestors. And today's topic is very much connected to those experiences of mine. It's nothing that I've got from any books, but completely a living experience. And as you know, when I got the date from Sri Lakshmi for this topic, it was unbelievable. It seemed like a synchronicity because today happens to be the birthday of an ancestor who was very dear to me, my grandfather, and I dedicate today's session to him. He was a wonderful man, a philanthropist, and contributed greatly in the field of mathematics and statistics in India. He was a degree holder from the Cambridge University, a first-class degree holder from the Cambridge University in UK, and worked in the FAO of the United Nations for many years, contributing internationally as well. So today, as I establish my connection deeper with him, and I express my gratitude to him for all that I've received from him and all that our family has received, I also pray that all of you viewers who are seeing this session today grow in your connection with your ancestors. You undergo phenomenal ancestral lineage healing and get great blessings from your ancestors. So I would just start by sharing the screen for today's session with all of you. So that's my grandfather there, who I'm going to dedicate the session to. And So we'll start by understanding what our connection is with our ancestors. Now, scientists say that human beings and their ancestors have been on the earth plane for more than 20 million years, and their leaving the physical cast does not disconnect them from us because we are their seeds, and the seeds always carry the essence of the ancestors. Over all these hundreds and thousands of years, generations of ancestors have passed on to us some gifts or the other. They have passed on even their traits, they have passed on their experiences. Experiences which are passed on from lifetime to lifetime through generations come down to us as epigenetic tendencies. Other than that, there is so much more in terms of traits, characters, attitudes, the thought patterns, the belief systems, even the family karmas. Innumerable passing down happens from generation to generation. And this remains within us till there is somebody from the family who participates in the healing process. As the healing happens not only for the individual, but the entire ancestral lineage as well as the following generations. So, as we understand that it is so deeply connected, the entire connection in the preceding generations and the following generations, we must participate in this healing process because it is liberating the entire lineage, and the contribution is a very, very valuable contribution. It contributes to huge satkarma for that person who is indulging in the process. As you can see here, even the women in the family, they contribute tremendously to this healing process. You can see over here on the top right hand side, there's a little quote there that I've put. Every woman who heals herself heals all the women who came before her and all the women who come after her. So, here, friends, all my women friends, you are all going to play a very, very important role. You're not only empowering yourself, you're empowering all the women, your grandmother, your great grandmother, and all the women right through the ancestral lineage. And yes, you're passing down beautiful, positive sanskaras to the children who come into the family and the women folk children as well. Again, trauma also travels through the family line, as it says on the top, on the bottom right hand side, till someone is ready to heal. Your ancestors and descendants celebrate every time you do the work because the energetic connection is so deep. They always receive whatever work you are doing and they express their gratitude to you in the form of blessings. So, as these blessings pour in, you will see your life changing phenomenally. Wherever you have been stuck in certain problems since a long time, those problems will start easing out. And these problems start easing out at all levels, be they physical, be they relationship, be you stuck in any kind of business issues. At all levels, healing happens. So, this connection is really a very, very deep connection. And in this lineage, even if one person was missing, my friends, we would not be here. So it's not only the ancestors who we know and who we had a physical connection with, but it is all those ancestors who we have not known as well. It's the entire, completely the entire lineage. So we must express gratitude to even the generations way beyond because we are carrying traits of all of them in some form or the other. We must also be very, very grateful to the woman in the family plays such an important role. It is through them that this lineage is created, my friends. And it is through her sacred womb that the divine feminine awakens. And the whole process is an extremely spiritual one, right from the moment of conception to pregnancy to childbirth. The woman is actually connected to both the realms, the spiritual realm, the world of spirits, as well as the physical dimension. And there's a lot of healing that she undergoes in the process. And that healing obviously passes down to the generations, the following generations, as well as the ancestors. So she truly is a goddess right through those months, a creative goddess. And we owe a lot to her. We owe a lot to our mothers, all the women in the family, for whatever we are today in terms of our name, our appearance, our behavior, our body structure, and so much more. Even materially, whatever we inherit, the comforts that we enjoy, there is so much that is given to us by our ancestors. But do we really recognize this? Do we really appreciate? Do we really get into the depth of the gratitude? That is what we need to check. And if we do, you will see that life moves for you very, very smoothly. Because when we have their blessings from a realm that is beyond, it has tremendous power, my friends, because that is where we actually come from. We belong to that absolutely infinite realm where we draw our energy from. And they, as they go up in the higher planes with their healing happening, they bless us more and more. And the power and its strength can be seen in changes in our lives. So, dear friends, you also need to understand that this female goddess, at the time when she is pregnant, is also invoking the birth shaman in herself, and she undergoes tremendous learning. The amount of her learning that she undergoes during this phase is equal to many, many lives of learning. So, for a man, he would not be able to avail of this huge advantage. So it is a number of higher souls that we see who take this form and who really benefit from the sacredness and the contribution to the entire generation and humankind. And she also imbibes in herself the wisdom that many women over the generation have passed on to her during this phase. It's women in her family, it's many other women, it's even the wisdom of her past life mothers. All that wisdom is passed on to her in an energetic manner. And if at this time her husband gives her tremendous support, it turns out to be a very beautiful process where both of them together can actually give birth to a very divine child and can contribute so beautifully to the entire generations that follow through. So, the entire process, as you can see, of pregnancy and birth is actually a very powerful process. And it needs to be done consciously, my friends. You need to make choices very, very consciously. Because as you can see, how it could really impact so many generations. And when the ancestral lineage gets healed, that in turn contributes to a healing of mankind as a whole. So you will see this here on this screen on the right side. There's a quote which says that when we heal ourselves, we heal our ancestors from wounds that run deep within our family. And when we heal our ancestors, we heal the world's wounds that run deep within humanity. So I would really say that it is huge satkarma when one actually consciously conducts any process or gets involved in this healing process, which is so, so vital and so precious. Now, what is the different ways in which one offers this healing world over, irrespective of the religions and the cultures? People celebrate at least once a year a festival to honor the deceased. This is celebrated. I have just mentioned some of these religions and cultures here. Egyptians do very much believe in reincarnation. So do the Jews and the Christians. They all celebrate in their own way and honor and express gratitude to the ancestors for what they have received. We also have the Japanese. We will see separately a little bit on how each of them honors their lineage. Going a little deeper into how connected we are to this lineage, we also need to understand that irrespective of our being from a particular culture or a religion, all of us have completely different identities. Right from our physical structure, our appearance, how we look, to our internal traits, everything has been carved by nature so graciously and so carefully over hundreds and thousands of years. So, how has this happened? This has happened because we have been carrying these traits down from the ancestors, and no two individuals will ever be the same. Each one, therefore, is really very, very significant in the family tree. So let us look at the different cultures here. So we have the Obon celebrations in Japan. So the Obon celebration happens for over 3 days according to the Buddhist tradition. And in Japan, you see these beautiful lanterns in this picture, which they float on running water to honor their ancestors. This is done during sunset time, and it is an expression of gratitude as well. There is this beautiful festival that happens in Korea by the name of Chuseok. So during the Chuseok, offerings are made to the ancestors. Offerings are made in the form of food, drinks of various kinds, water, and the Chuseok also signifies a celebration of abundant harvest, and an intention is taken by the Koreans for further progress in the harvest for the following year. Now, Galungan is a celebration that happens in Bali, and regarding Bali, I would like to share an experience of mine when I went there. I went around the same time when Galungan had just about finished. And it was so beautiful to see how the entire place was decorated. So they have these bamboo shoots outside all the buildings, and these bamboo shoots are tall shoots with a little circular top, and it just kind of goes up and then it drops down like a hanging, and it looks so beautiful because you find the entire streets decorated with these bamboo shoots. And all the people, they move out taking offerings to their temples. They have temples established there, and it is believed that the ancestors come down on that particular day from heaven to their homes So that is the time when they make these offerings and they also again express their gratitude. Another, an observation that I made in Bali, which really had a huge impact on me, was when I went there. I saw that a lot of homes in Bali had a specific structure, which was, like an extension of the home, a dedicated mini home or a dedicated separate room, which was actually only for the ancestors. That really touched my heart. They have so much of value for their ancestors that they establish these separate structures along with their homes to honor them. And I was so inspired and so touched seeing that. I decided to come back and establish a separate ancestral corner with an altar in my sacred chamber. So I have a room here in my home where I do small ancestral processes and my other healing. So I dedicated a separate corner and I could actually feel a change in the energy of the room. I could sense a change of the temperature. It would become a little cool, and especially on those days when I used to do the ancestral process. So in India, of course, we celebrate it, or we honor it on the day of Amavas every month. So I would notice by about the previous day night, the temperature of the room would change. So that started happening about 2, 3 years back after establishing that ancestral corner. So yeah, that was an experience, impacted by my trip in Bali. And then we have the Kinmen Festival, which is observed in China. So, as you can see, this Chinese gentleman here, he has a brush in his hand and he's cleaning the tomb. So, there people go to the tombs of their ancestors and they clean them up and they just make offerings of food, and yes, also paper notes. They make paper note offerings there, and sometimes they even burn it up and offer it. So that's their method of appeasing their ancestors and expressing their gratitude. And of course, in India, we celebrate the Mahalaya Amavas, a very powerful day to express our gratitude to our ancestors. And also, it is an important day to appease the ancestors, especially those ancestors who have had a very hard time in the last moments of death. So, if they have been going through some sort of pain or disturbance or some levels of you know, physical illness which has caused them tremendous, physical discomfort, those who have passed away in trauma, in accidents. So it helps to appease those souls. And rituals are done here in India for the same. And of course, with all of you today, I would be taking you through a meditative process, and through that, we will indulge in some ancestral healing. So, dear friends, as you can see, right through, irrespective of which part of the world and what culture, what tradition it is, people all over realize the significance of their ancestors and what they have received from them as a part of their life today. And they do celebrate it, they do honor it. So it's something which we should always remember. And I don't think we would like if somebody forgot the special days in our life. If somebody forgot your birthday, would you really feel happy about it? If no, your birthday comes just once a year. So the same thing happens here. We don't do anything on a daily basis. But yes, once a year, I think we need to honor that. Besides, other than once a year, those who are a little keen, in India at least, can follow maybe just talking to your ancestors, or if you wish, you can make food offerings. So it depends on what you're really comfortable with. The main thing is to establish a connection and heal all that is unhealed. And that can be done on Amavas of every month. So you can just look up the calendar for the dates. You will have an idea. And honestly, I have done this for my ancestors for a continuous 21 Amavasas in 2015. And I would do this in a temple in southern India. Life changed phenomenally. I had huge internal shifts, getting to levels of deep peace and ease. And of course, materially, there was a shift as well. But the internal journey was something which I was really looking for a huge shift in, and that did happen through this continuous offering and connection over the 21 months. So now let's talk about the last journey. That is the journey where the soul leaves the physical plane. So the physical disconnect, we need to understand that when the soul leaves the physical cast, the awareness does not come immediately. It takes the soul some time to understand that it has actually left the physical body. It tries to make a connection with its relatives, to talk to them, and to tell them that, look, I'm here. Look at me, remember me, and let's just interact. I'm available, I'm there, I haven't gone, don't cry. So that is the kind of experience that happens at the soul level instantly. It takes some time till the family goes to the cremation ground and the ceremonies start happening. That's when it slowly starts sinking into the soul that, oh, there's something happening here. And the realization starts seeping in deeper and deeper. And hence, it is very important that during this period, the family participates in rituals, or those who are not into rituals, at least they could make a connection of the soul and talk to them internally, because as you know, energetically we are connected, and to explain to them that their work in the physical realm is done and that they now need to move on to their homes in the other dimension where they belong to now. And when they do this, it really helps those souls. They move on and the journey becomes easier for them. They realize that their family is actually willing now to let them go. And this journey takes I say an approximate, because there are other factors which I would not be getting into now. It could vary, the days could vary, but on an average, it takes about 11 days for the soul to journey into the other realm. Now, how the individual has lived through the entire lifespan plays an important role to decipher what kind of a journey it's going to be after it leaves the physical realm. So, if the person has led a life which is a very peaceful life, automatically after death is going to be very, very peaceful. But if it's been disturbed, if there have been a lot of hurts and pains and rejections, there's been violence, that's what is going to be carried on to the afterlife. And of course, if you look deeper and further, based on all these experiences, that's what it carries into the afterlife and automatically takes a decision as to what kind of a further reincarnation it would take. And more than that, the last thoughts of the individual are very, very important. The feelings, the emotions, if there is a feeling of fear, any kind of anger towards the family, any kind of pain of, the last moment experiences, somebody dying in illness, not ready for going, for passing over, then that person is leaving in an unsatiated condition, in a condition of turmoil. So the what is carried forward? It's turmoil that is carried forward. It's incompleteness that is carried forward. And there'll be a pull to come back, a pull to complete the journey. So, and then thoughts about how will my folks manage after I leave? Thoughts of worry. That again, is no good because they are not ready to journey and they could be very much attached to the earth plane in such situations. So I had this particular client, this lady, whose son passed away at a very early age. And another client of mine had got her in. And she just refused to let him go. She could not accept the fact that her son had passed away at such a young age. It used to cause a lot of disturbance in her, and she was literally living with him. She used to make his bed, she used to serve him food, and she told me that she could actually see the bed sheets crumbled in the morning. So I explained to her what she was doing, but it was very, very hard because the attachment was so strong. And even to this day, I see some of her posts once in a while. The healing happened. She listened to me. For a couple of days, she started focusing on her work. I got her into some, catering, and she started doing very well. But now, again, during the COVID period, I see that there is a change again. So, unless, the person understands that our ancestors need to move on. They need to get what is called Sampurna Moksha. We come from, it could be the origin of light that you want to go back to. Some people, of course, wish to choose silence. They can just merge into silence. So from soul to soul, they will choose what their ultimate journey is. Some might want to just be in Satyaloka. Some might want to just stay as, light beings and continue serving from the other realm or take rebirth here. But what is important is to get them to these really high realms, because they won't be completely happy. There will be disturbance. And that is what every living being needs to understand. Our happiness is their happiness. Their happiness brings about huge changes in our lives. We are related, completely connected. And that needs to be understood at a very deep level. So, as I said, these thoughts, feelings, and emotions are very, very vital, and everything positive, a connection with the divine, should be experienced in the last moments. That's why, in Indian culture, they always used to say, कि, there's a saying that मरते समय आपको भगवान का नाम लेना चाहिए, which means at the time of death, you should be taking the name of the divine, because that's where you will journey to. And offerings were made, sacred plants and sacred water, holy water given to establish that connection for the soul, so that that soul finds it easier to transcend. It's not easy, when you're living in the physical body for so many years, you do have attachments. It's but natural. But it is our work. If we truly love our family members, we will do this. So it is also getting to that feeling of unconditional love for the other, to shift beyond, your feeling of lack and what you want for them. It's not always I. It's we here. We work together. We work in tandem, because our healing helps them. And as I said, their healing helps us because they bless us. Unfulfilled desires. If the desires of the person who's passing away are not fulfilled, there is a huge tendency to come back. And we will address this in the meditation again. There's a small example that I would like to share here. And this is a real life example. of an old lady who was there in the hospice. She was being served by a very kind nurse. The nurse was very, very compassionate and she took care of her very well. But there was an issue with the nurse. She was not having a baby for many years. More than a decade she'd been trying, but she didn't have a baby. And this old lady was very, very happy with her service. So she told her that when I go to the other realm, I'm going to ask God to give you a baby. So the nurse would always listen to her and thank her for it. And then one day, when the lady passed away, the nurse remembered her words, and she just waited. And yes, exactly after a month, she did get pregnant. So, friends, these are true stories. And I have come across many people in my temple when, we have these rituals and prayers. They have had visions of their ancestors being taken away in golden chariots by the divine. Their, faces have flashed. They've come back with messages saying that we are fine where we are. Sometimes symbolic representations, a flower blooming is what some people have seen. Sometimes they see other ancestors who they have known coming to receive this particular ancestor that they're praying for. So, innumerable signs. In fact, my own sister, when I had taken her to pray for her mother-in-law, she actually had, a message being conveyed to her over her. She just had her mobile phone in her hand, and she said she didn't type, but there was a message that automatically got typed. It wasn't perfect words, but the message was very much conveyed. So there have been many instances where signs, symbols, and messages would come to us through them in some way or the other, telling us that they are fine. And attachments is a huge obstacle. In fact, attachments could be with the family members, people who you're really close to. Attachments could be with places, the homes where you've stayed. You're not willing to leave the home because you constructed the home with a lot of love and care. And you could have attachments with, well, even name, fame. You enjoyed your position during your lifetime. Attachments could also be with material objects, simple thing like, a Rolex watch, which somebody must have, really liked. They're stuck there because, it's something which they really wanted. So what people used to do is just put that object along with the body of the person who passes away. Why was that done? They say that whatever they liked, just let them go with that, so that they are not stuck and they transcend. It's theirs. So all kinds of things were done in ancient days, and that has what has been followed traditionally over time. And of course, traumas. It's very difficult when people pass away with accidents, in instances of violence, war situations. War situations in future lifetimes could be very traumatic, you know, because I remember this one case when I was doing my study of the past life regression. I remember this case very clearly, of this person who had a lot of rib pain, and doctors had tried a lot, but the rib pain just wouldn't go. And when this person came in for a past life healing to my master, then they discovered that it happened because he was actually a warrior. And during the war, when he was actually climbing a fort, there was an arrow which came from the back and it hit him and pierced him through the body. And when the healing was done during the past life regression session, he was freed of that pain. So these are small examples of trauma. So, friends, I think we can go on to the meditation now. So you could close your eyes. Those who wear glasses can please take off your glasses and put them aside. We will do Anapanasati meditation of Brahma Rishi Pitama Patriji. Please clasp your hands. This is the way you could clasp fingers into each other and place them in your lap. You could cross your feet and focus on your incoming and outgoing breath. Your natural, normal incoming and outgoing breath. Invoke the presence of our Divine Masters, starting with Brahma Rishi Patriji and all other Masters to be with us in this meditation and process today. So keep connecting to your natural incoming and outgoing breath, becoming completely one with it. Just let go all your worries of the future, your disturbances of the past. Forget completely who you are, your name, your connections, and connect to a complete zone of that deep silence within you. As you connect to that silence within you, connect to that dimension of nothingness, remembering you're nobody, absolutely nobody, and nothing. Strive to go beyond the body into that complete zone of emptiness. And if if you find thoughts coming, just bring your focus back to breath again. As you keep focusing on breath, your mind will get empty slowly. So as you begin to feel lighter and freer, my friends, bring in front of your eyes any one ancestor who you would like to do this process of healing with today. You might want to heal the relationship with this ancestor. You know that a particular ancestor of yours has passed away with some disturbance. You could bring that ancestor too into the process. Just think of any one and bring them in front of your eyes. Look into their eyes and connect to them. Keep looking into their eyes and you will see yourself there. Your own essence. Establish that connection. The first thing that you will do is you will ask for forgiveness to that ancestor with whom you're doing the healing for any kind of hurt, pain, or disturbance you might have caused in his or her life. Do this with your complete heart and deep connection. Look out for a shift in your own feeling as you receive their response. And till you receive the response, do not move forward with the process. Since we have a time limit today, I would move on, but you can always come back to this video and take guidance from here and do the process again. Once you are done and you've received a sign, you will do the reverse now. You have asked for forgiveness to this particular ancestor. Now you will give forgiveness. You will forgive and let go any incidents of hurt, grief, pain, or judgment that you're carrying towards this ancestor, because it doesn't serve its purpose anymore. What's the point of keeping anything in our heart for someone who is connected to us in blood? And in so many other ways. So let go, free yourself and free the other. Be in that state of gratitude. There is a lot that you've received. So do this process with your complete heart to liberate both ends. And once you're done, you will go to the next stage. In the next stage, you will focus that there be peace in their journey of afterlife. There should be no disturbance whatsoever, and that they be completely liberated from any disturbed thoughts pre-death, any disturbed feelings, any grudges towards the other, any kind of discontentment. And that they also be freed of unfulfilled desires. At this moment, you will ask them, what can I do for you that you be satiated and you move on? Receive their answer. However it comes to you, it is very important, because they will not be able to fulfill their desire, but you can fulfill it for them. If they are worried about any family member, about their future, their security, financially or otherwise, let that message come to you. If they are uncomfortable about the disturbances in the relationships, let that come to you. You will need to work towards it. You may not find the results coming in instantly. In such cases, you will need to work towards it. But at least you've made a start, and that start would help them in their journey, because they would be overlooking you all the time. You may not know it, but yes, they do so. And then thirdly, there are 3 parts to this. The third part, you would also tell them to be free of any attachments they are stuck to, and that they should move on, because that is for their higher good. And that they should let go, they should free themselves. Guide them. Guide them that all attachments with their relatives, people they loved, material objects, places, name, fame, position, All should be let gone. The soul needs to move on to higher planes, connecting to its true nature. And now you move to the next stage. Don't open your eyes at all through the process. Just remain deeply connected in your heart with your ancestor. You would take an intention that both of you be liberated in your karmic ties with each other. There are ties karmically which are called the family karma. In the case of a family karma, when this particular ancestor of yours has been impacted, you could also be impacted. And this is the moment when you need to take an intention and simply experience that you and your ancestor both are relieved of this family karma. Take the help of the divine masters that you have invoked for this part of the process. Receive any messages and guidance for the same. And once you receive the guidance and message, please do not forget to complete it. It needs to be completed. And now you will thank from deep within your heart this particular ancestor for all that you have received from him or her in every way. So we've already listed so much that we receive from them. Your name, your family name, your characteristics, your personality, the way you think, even talents, skills, so many attributes, the way you speak, the color of your hair, your skin, whatever you like, whatever you're enjoying, the love that you received, your material comfort. Connect to all that and realize that this would not have been possible without the presence of this ancestor in your life. Understanding this at a deep level can bring about a huge shift. Gratitude is a very, very important part of the process. Let your heart melt as you relate to this connection. Gratitude, friends, is the highest form of receivership. Open yourself to this huge bank of receiving by expressing and connecting to all that you have received so far. And as I thank my ancestors right now in this process, as I thank my granddad for all that I've received, may all of you connect to all the abundance in your life, all the good and the beautiful in your life, and express that deeply and lovingly to your ancestor. And lastly, which everybody would love, this is a moment when you can ask for a blessing from the ancestor for the healing that you have done for yourself, the ancestor, and the entire lineage. Ask for the blessing with an open heart, full of love, full of connection, full of the forgiveness, no judgments, unconditional love and connection and gratitude. knowing that you are being looked upon and that you will receive lovingly from your ancestor. And once you're done, my friends, you may rub your palms and place them upon your eyes. And very slowly, you may open your eyes now. So, the last slide, which says, a woman armed with ancestral wisdom is an unstoppable force. So, to all my women friends here of my tribe, stay empowered, stay unstoppable, friends.
Thank you so much, Indiraji, for beautiful.
Wishing you all lots of love and thank you to you too.
Thank you so much once again for this wonderful, beautiful session on ancestral liberation and ancestral healing. And really, I experienced a beautiful energy in this guided meditation. Thank you so much. Like liberating the family karma, and all the. I think all the ancestors they have that unresolved like desires, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
they keep on
yes,
passing to generations and generations, and yeah.
yes,
So this ancestral liberation meditation is so important. So sending them
yes,
that love. Yes.
yes. So, those who wish to do it can do it, as I mentioned, every month on that specific day. And I
Mhm.
would like to thank you for this opportunity because I was wondering how I'm going to fit it into this program. So, deep
Yes.
gratitude to you too.
Yes. It's a
Thank you.
beautiful day, like paying tribute to your grandfather. As you said, today is your grandfather.
Yes, that was a complete synchronicity. That's why I said you're an angel.
Yes, true.
It came as a divine plan, and you were the angel who made it happen.
It's like universe. It's nothing to do
Yes,
with me.
yes, yes.
So we have received a couple of comments, and thank you for explaining about his ancestral connections, how to heal them in meditation.
Thank you, Sahaji.
And I invite and ask them to take next birth as a meditator.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Lovely.
Very nice. Yes. So
Lovely.
thank you
Thank
once
you.
again. Such a beautiful session. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
Friends, hope you all have enjoyed today's session by Indira ji. And please to come back again to this YouTube channel, and you can do meditation, this ancestral healing meditation. And on this, as she mentioned, you can do on these new moon days and the full moon days. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Indiraji, once again. And friends,
Thank you.
let's
Thank you so
connect
much.
tomorrow once again. Until then, signing off. Bye.